Now, if you got that cold one, mix it up and take a slug, because we're going to go deep down the rabbit hole or into intergalactic times when we're joined by Nick Pope. He's a journalist, a media commentator, and he's an expert on UFOs. Was an employee at the British government's Ministry of Defense. He's had a wide range of duties relating to non-operational activities. One of the responsibilities was to investigate the phenomena to determine if it had any defense significance. So if anybody knows what's happening out there, it's this guy, Nick Pope. Thanks for giving us a few minutes today. What's going on, Nick?
Well, what's happening is that this subject has come out of the fringe and into the mainstream. The US government has effectively admitted that these things are real. They haven't said they're alien. They've said we don't know. But pilots chase them. Radar operators track them. Some of those videos have been released, and now we learn that the Senate Intelligence Committee has called for a report, and that there's a unit in the Office of Naval Intelligence called the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force looking at this.
The Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. It sounds like
Absolutely.
It sounds like they went to great lengths just to not call it the Unidentified Flying Object Task Force. But yeah, I saw these videos recently, and I guess they've been getting more viral lately. But those videos of the pilots in awe of how fast this object is moving, those were from 2002, right?
There are three different videos. One of them's from 2004, and two of them from 2015. But this is the tip of the iceberg. All of the people involved in this program have said that there have been multiple events like this. I loved the comment. One of the pilots, when he was asked about this, he said, "I don't know what it was, but I want to fly one." And so when these top guns tell you something like that, it really, I think, gives you an insight into the speed and maneuverability of whatever the heck it is we're dealing with here.
So let me ask you this. So you were deep in there, and I'm sure, as you're investigating whether or not there's any significance for defense capabilities, you personally had to come across some things that made you scratch your head a little bit.
Absolutely, yes. I was investigating this for the British government back in the 90s, and we were the ones who, going back to the previous point, we popularized this term UAP precisely because we wanted to get rid of the sort of pop culture baggage that the term UFO had. But yeah, we had about 200 or 300 sightings each year. And I remember one of them, pilots, telling me that they've been overtaken by these things when they're flying fast jets. Another Air Force officer told me about a huge triangular-shaped craft moving really slowly, emitting a low-frequency humming sound, and then accelerating away to the horizon many times faster than military jet. And when I interviewed him about this, his voice was still shaking, and he said, "I've served 8 years in the Air Force, never seen anything like this in my life."
Wow. So is a triangular-shaped vehicle a new phenomena? Because I often hear about, these disc-like vehicles.
They come in all shapes and sizes, but huge silent or near-silent triangles have been seen, certainly in bigger numbers since at least the 80s, in the United States, the United Kingdom, Belgium, other parts of Europe. And, we're still debating this. Is it our own technology, some deep black program buried somewhere in government that even people that run these sorts of UFO programs don't know about? Is it Russia? Is it China? Or is it something from further away? And we don't know, but we're getting close, I think.
Well, I kind of feel like, we're right up there in the intelligence gathering in the world. If China or Russia had something that had figured out a new way to supersonic speed, we'd at least have some handle on it. So the idea that they're calling it a phenomena makes me think they don't have any, any evidence that a foreign power could have got past us. But did you ever see anything, you personally, that gave you the sense 100% that there's alien life?
I've never had a personal sighting, but having looked at this subject for the government and had access to all the British government's files and documents going back decades, while I haven't seen a smoking gun that says this is absolutely definitively extraterrestrial, I've seen enough that I think it's not all aircraft lights and weather balloons. And again, on your point about intelligence and Russia and China is I think well made, and just in the last few days, Marco Rubio, who is acting chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, has pretty much said, yeah, we're fairly confident it's not us, it's not Russia or China. We need to find out who it is, what the heck is going on in our airspace, because it's automatically a defense and national security issue.
Right. I've been a cynic. I've had other UFO folks on the show that, they weren't impressing me. But when I saw that video, I guess about 2 years ago from 2004, you could tell by the voices of the pilots, you can't even see them, but you can tell by their audio that their voices are elevated to a level that they're like in awe or shock of what they see. And if military guys who fly the highest speed jets around are in awe of the speed that something moves, it's got to be something we don't know about. It's real. That's what I came to that conclusion in the last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's zero doubt about the provenance of these videos, because although, as you say, they've been in the public domain for a while, just a couple of months ago, the Department of Defense themselves put these 3 videos on their website to say to people, look, yes, these are our videos. These are US Navy genuine videos. And our official position is still that these things, whatever they are unidentified. And as I say, now we have the Senate Intelligence Committee looking at this, the Armed Services Committee, letters have gone to Congress. Finally, this topic is losing its kind of reputation as just all crazy conspiracy stuff. And it's being taken seriously at the highest levels within the government, the military, and the intelligence community.
So, Nick, let me ask you something. This has got to be a moment in time for you where you're feeling vindicated, that things you've been talking about for years and people dismiss you as an aluminum foil hat or this or that are really starting to come to the mainstream. And I think you've been vindicated and proven to have been onto something long before everyone else wanted to admit it.
Yes, I think so. I mean, I don't think, because I investigated this for the government, I don't think anyone tried to portray me as a crazy, but certainly the UFO community as a whole, yeah, absolutely, have suffered from a bit of an image problem. And now they are able to look people straight in the eye and say, well, look, we're not the people who believed in crazy conspiracy stuff. We're the people who were right about this.
Yeah, and you know what? When I get deeper down the rabbit hole on, a lot of political stuff, if you start to understand this and say, wow, if our government's been lying to us for like the last 40 years about whether or not a spaceship zips through our universe every so often, what else are they lying to us about? So it's scary, but maybe we're getting to a place where they know the news cycle is so fluid that they have to be transparent. But I really appreciate you joining us, Nick, and hopefully as things develop, you can come back and be our go-to guy.
Absolutely. Aliens, the ultimate October surprise, perhaps.
Yeah, there we go. All right, that's Nick Pope. He's a journalist, media commentator, and one of the foremost experts on unidentified flying objects.